Aquarius, I think that you guys are in the middle of a rebirth. And it's so funny because I feel like there's some hesitancy about that for some reason. Like the way that I just had to hesitate to say that to you. But also like setting up for this reading was also like a frustrating experience, and I was trying to like fine tune all these things and make sure that everything was like, yeah, working the way that I wanted and XYZ. And I feel like it's because there's all of these small, tiny details that need to be, I don't know, fixed, perfected, something like that. It feels like the rebirth is taking its time as a way to perfect these small little details, but they make a big difference, which is actually in your channeled messages here too. I have small adjustments equals big impact. And it's funny too because, again, same theme. I don't have a ton of channeled messages for you guys, but the ones that I do have are very like concentrated. They're potent. They pack a punch. So let's get into this and talk about it. One of the things that I have here for you, I have First Breath in reverse, Beginner's Mind. And it came out reversed. So this is what the card looks like, but it came out reversed like this. Again, more towards the like hesitancy of what's happening here. You also had Cosmic Womb, the Divine Feminine. It's kind of hard to see with this light. It's a very light card, but nonetheless, Cosmic Womb, the Divine Feminine. The womb, right? So the rebirth that you're experiencing. I also have in the hand, the universe is your partner. I feel like this is really speaking to trusting that if something is delayed, if something needs time, if it needs to be perfected, so to speak, like I feel like Aquarius, you guys do sort of have that perfectionist tendency on occasion, because it's all about the mind. And I feel like with such a strong mind, you are going through all of the different possibilities or all of the different outcomes, routes, whatever, you know what I mean? You guys have a very strong mind. And so I feel like this is kind of like an ode to that in a way, right? Like the universe is your partner, knowing that if things are taking a long time, whatever that might be, I do feel like this is a big like rebirth in a sense of like a spiritual evolution, if you will. I feel like it's more along the lines of your spiritual journey than it is anything, but obviously like take it as it resonates. And then one of the things that I had here in your notes was Delicate Alchemy. And immediately I saw this card and it ended up coming out. So I'm like, okay, bet, like, let's go. Dances on one foot, balancing act. Again, with the delicate nature of this is what I was getting. Dances on one foot, balancing act. There is something that needs time. It just needs time, Aquarius. It needs time to develop, and I need you to start thinking of it as like you've already reached the point that you've been like, I want to get there, 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 right? You've already reached that point, you're already there. I need you to think about the future as the now, right? I have full body chills, especially all up my right side while I'm saying that. The future is now. You've reached that already. You've done that, you've reached that already. It's not about what am I going to do when I get there. Hence, the rebirth is almost complete. And it's almost like I need you to think about it, or Spirit needs you to think about it. You can do whatever you want, really. But Spirit wants you to think of this in a sense of, you know, like any delays that I am experiencing are for my highest good, right? There's something that needs to not be rushed. It needs to slowly unravel and unfold. And I feel like you're in the midst of that right now. You're in that like unfolding period, if you will. Okay. Before I get some more cards, we're going to go through some of these channel messages too. So I heard to do what I do, which to me immediately comes back to like a spiritual evolution for you. That's what I'm getting, is like to do what I do. It felt like it was like the sentence should have been like, to do what I do, I need X, Y, and Z, right? To do what I do, I need these types of conditions. To do what I do, I need this type of environment. To do what I do, I need to make sure that I'm grounded. Or you know what I'm saying? It's like, to do what I do, ... fill in the blank, right? It felt like a sense of there is a ritual or there's some sort of system that you need to do that you already maybe have in place, where it's like, in order for me to choose between, you know, what job is right for me, I go through this kind of like checklist in my mind. Or, oh, excuse me, the yawning, I must be clearing for you guys, wow. Or like if it's with anything in your life, friendships, jobs, just making a decision on anything, I feel like you guys are like, I weigh my options, right? Like there's a list that I go through, there's a ritual that I have, there's a system in place. It's almost giving like a method to my madness type of vibes for you guys, right? That's what I'm feeling for you. I also they showed me a dolphin, but a dolphin not in a sense of like, you know, I think dolphin a lot of times goes with like play, or I kind of want to get a card on dolphin. It kind of goes with like play or inner child and stuff like that. And I don't really feel that way though for this, to be honest with you. I got magical properties when I was like seeing the dolphin, more in a sense of like being wowed, right? Like being wowed and being like, wow, I can't believe that's like a real like creature like on this earth, right? It's almost giving me like dolphin is akin for some reason to like unicorn or like a narwhal or something, you know what I mean, where it's like dolphins I think are also known for their intelligence, right? Their ability to kind of like understand and communicate, especially communicate, you know, in their own like circle, like amongst themselves, like their communication with each other as an animal, but also their way of like connecting and communicating with us. I think that's kind of what I'm leaning towards, especially with magical properties. It's like I said, a sense of being wowed. Like, that's so crazy. I can't believe this animal can do that. That's what it's giving to me, right? I kind of want to get a card on that. So, I'm going to do that first. That was way too fast. Or is it just accurate? See, I feel like you guys are, like, even me asking myself that question while I'm pulling these cards still makes me feel like there's something there for you guys that needs to be fine-tuned. And, like, they're showing me, like, when you're ironing the wrinkles out of a shirt, right? It's, like, making sure that everything is, like, crisp, clean. I just heard making sure the details are ironed out. Ooh, very interesting. Oh, my God. Yeah, look, reinvention. Wow. Making sure the details are ironed out. So this is all about you guys, like, and listen, I speak in metaphors, I speak in analogies. Maybe that's something that resonates with you, because I feel like I've been doing it a lot today. But I'm also hearing, like, cross your T's and dot your I's. Oh my God, so funny. Rebirth, reinvention, exactly. I'm also getting this strange feeling about, like, I'm gonna give you another, like, analogy, like tying up loose ends. I feel like you guys really, like, going back to the dolphin and the way that they communicate or think and process, I think that is something also about you that's being recognized as well. It's either changing for the better, maybe you are starting to process things differently, again, going back to, like, your ritual or your routine or whatever that is for you to make decisions, right? But there's something about tying up loose ends. It feels like we're really, like, getting down to, like, anything that could be, I don't know why I want to word it like this, anything that could be a threat needs to be removed. I don't know why that's coming to me very specifically, like a threat, but anything that feels like a threat needs to be removed. Anything that could be a threat needs to be removed. I just get this feeling like Spirit is trying to set you up for something very specific. Really, really, really specific. Something about the way that you process, the way that you communicate. This is like, I really feel like this elevation Hence, like, the reinvention. I feel like what I'm getting is a sense of, I don't know why the way I want to word this is like, you show up to the function and everyone's like, dang, like, that's them? That's crazy. Like, that's what I feel like is going to happen. That's what I feel like Spirit's setting you up for. That's what it feels like. Man, this really feels like taking a breath for the first time. Oh my God, first breath. Oh my God. Oh my God. No way. Oh my God. First breath. Oh my God. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like you guys are it feels like I'm taking a breath for the first time. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'll never stop being amazed by Spirit and the way that things come together like that. You guys might even also be like amazed by your abilities or amazed at what you are capable of. I don't think you guys realize quite yet to its full extent like what you're capable of. And I think you're coming around to that now. Like, you're starting to actually realize for the first time that first breath, right? And it's funny that first breath is beginner's mind. You are truly starting over. Again, the way that you think, process, act, everything. I'm getting this sense of like, yeah, look, cycles as well. Reinvention and cycles. Yeah, you're ending a cycle. The rebirth is coming. That's so crazy. No, that's crazy work. That's crazy work. I'm getting the sense of like, you know how they say your cells, like after 7 years, I think it is, they're like completely like new, right? It's like you have all new cells in your body. I'm getting that sense too, is like, it really is like taking a breath for the first time, because you're taking a breath as this completely renewed version of you. Like I said, ironing out the details, like, and then I don't know if I said this or not, because I might have got distracted. But I was seeing someone vacuum, and not just vacuum, but like the like hose or like extended part of the vacuum, and like against like the crevice where like the wall and the floor meet, like literally like trying to get the crumbs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to miss anything. Like, that's that vibe. I'm not trying to miss anything. It's really, yeah, that's crazy. Wow. It really is. Like, so the 7 years in your cells, it's like, this is the first time you're going to take a breath in this body. This is the first time that you're going to do XYZ in this body with this mindset and with this life. And it truly is like everything is a first all over again. Everything is a first. Like, it almost feels like there's no one else's energy that is permeating yours. There's no one else's energy that is, you know, for the first time in your life, like, you're not worried about other people. That's wild. That's actually not even what I was gonna say, but obviously we're gonna go with it. This is the first time that you're not gonna have to worry about other people and how it affects you, how their lives affect you or whatever. It's like, and it doesn't have to be people, but it's like the first time that you're not going to be energetically affected by things external to you. It's like Spirit has been slowly dragging you through this process, and it really has felt like, you know, like dragging you through the mud, you know what I mean? Like, it just feels like it's dragging it out to its fullest extent, where I'm sure if you look back on your life, if this is resonating for you, this is a time where, you know, you're like, wow, for the first time, I don't have this, you know, bothering me. I don't have this going on that I have to worry about. I don't have to problem solve. I don't have to fix something. I don't have to be something. It's like literal freedom. Like I said, it's like taking a breath for the first time. You guys are really about to be in a body, in an environment, in an energy. Like, your energetic body is like no longer bogged down by other things. This is a fully renewed body, mind, spirit, like everything. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, oh my God, wow, yeah. I feel like if this resonates for you guys, you probably cut off a lot of people. You probably cut off a lot of people, or maybe it's not even in a malicious way. I feel like this is just like, again, ironing out the details, tying up loose ends. You're removing things that could be a threat, right? You have regret and you have family here, and you have mute in reverse as well. Yeah, I feel like that's what that is. Mute and signs here, mute in reverse with signs. So what I really feel like is going on with this whole regret the family situation and the mute in reverse is like, I think you finally just said something. I think you've just finally said something about what wasn't working for you. Or maybe, you know, it's like maybe it's not speaking, because we also talked about the practice, right? Like the practice or the ritual or the way in which you go about something. Like, I feel like this is kind of like, yeah, like I'm not going to do that anymore, you know? Like maybe it's not saying something, but I'm not going to entertain that anymore. I'm not going to entertain these types of people or situations or, you know, energies in my life anymore. I feel like there's just more clearing. I feel like there's this energy of like, let me exit stage left. Do you know what I mean? Let me get out of here. You know, like let me move out of here. Because maybe you didn't exactly say things to people, but it feels like some of them, it's more of like a quiet, like yeah, like that's just, it doesn't work anymore. And I feel like there is this kind of regret of maybe not doing it sooner. And if it's the other person, then it could be them regretting the way that something ended or whatnot. But with whole like regret and family situation, I do feel like this is more of like, maybe you let people treat you a certain way because they're family or they're someone who's very close to you. You know what I mean? And like I said, if that doesn't resonate, then I definitely think it could be these other people. Maybe like I said, when you show up to the function, whatever that means, whatever the function is, when you show up to the function and these people see you and are like, damn, that's them, like that's crazy, da da da. I feel like that's these people being like, dang, like wow, like wow, like that's what I feel like is like, man, I shouldn't have like I kind of like wish that we didn't fizzle out, or I wish this worked better, or I wish this person was still in my life. Like I feel like you're impressing people, and it's an energetic glow up. Like you walk into the room and people are like, dang, like the way they carry themselves is insane. Like the way they carry themselves, like that's power, like that's confidence, that's like raw, unbridled confidence in the self, confidence in who you are and what you're capable of. Like I said, because that's the rebirth, right? That's where we're headed. But again, it just put yourself where it makes sense for you, obviously, you know, like leave what doesn't resonate. But with ascending in reverse right here too, it's like because you're in the process of that. But regret with the mute in reverse, it's like I regret not saying something sooner for some of you. I regret not saying something sooner. I regret letting this go on for so long. I feel like you guys have come to this point where like things are just, they can't be mediocre anymore. Like that's what it feels like. It's like I can't let these things go on. I can't keep saying yes to these things. Like I feel like not saying anything is akin to compliance and acceptance, and you're like, and I don't accept that. I don't accept this in my life anymore. I don't accept this version of me anymore. I feel like literally it's all new cells. It's all new you. It's like that literally was an old version of you, and you're about to be energetically, especially speaking, a completely different person. You have material world here in reverse, which I'm not 100% what that means or what that's regarding, but to me it feels more a lack of like security, or a lack of like feeling like secure in your connections, or a lack of feeling maybe even like provided for, or something kind of similar to that. That's kind of what it feels like to me. I'm not 100% sure. I kind of want to get another one. Let's see if I can get another one here just for that card alone, because I'm like, I mean, maybe money was involved in why these, you know, situations aren't working for you anymore. Maybe that's a part of that. Again, take it as resonates. Yeah, mirroring in reverse. I feel like okay. I feel like you fall on the bottom too. So fall could have been a specific time. Fall with vibrations, depending on where you are in the world, obviously. But September, October, November-ish, give or take. Could have been when something shifted drastically for you. Like last fall could have been when something shifted really drastically and you're like, wow, like things are changing right now for me. But with material world and mirroring in reverse, I feel like this again, stuttering, yes, Mercury retrograde. However, I do feel like this is something very much related to you and the way that you were processing. It's like, okay, slow down. Iron out the details, tie up the loose ends, like, you know what I'm saying? It's perfecting something. This energy is coming across to me as you are seeing that you and certain people in your life do not have the same morals, don't have the same values. I want to say values because it's very Venus related, material world. Venus being, money, what we value, love and relationships as well. But primarily, what do you value? And I feel like what this is saying is that is not mirrored in these people, and that's why maybe a lot of you felt like, damn, I wish I spoke up sooner, or like, I wish I saw that sooner. I wish I understood it from that perspective sooner, because I could have kind of, saved myself XYZ. But I don't want you to think about it that way at all, because I don't think it's that, cut and dry. I think that we all experience the things that we do for a reason. There's a rhyme and a reason, a method to the madness, right? As you know. I often refer to Aquarius as the mad scientist. So, I do feel like that resonates. Method to the madness. Method to the madness. Let's see what else I can get here. I do want to go through a couple more of these messages too that I didn't get to yet. Was focused in on like hearing something, maybe like clairaudiently, but I was like hearing feedback, almost as if it was like a radio station type of vibe. It's almost like, or if you guys ever watch a YouTube video where it's sound bowls and the like feedback, obviously because it's coming through your speakers, isn't super like like clear and like soothing. It was kind of giving me that vibe. So that's what I mean by feedback. And I heard turn it down or lower the station by being like, go to a lower station. It's almost like don't skip ahead, go down to a lower station, right? Lower than maybe you need to, or lower like frequency, whatever. And then slowly go up from there to see like, where's that perfect fit for you? So maybe you're coming into clairaudience as well. I was also very specifically seeing like descending numbers, and for whatever reason it started at 10:54. That could be a specific time, maybe that you're watching this. It could be a birthday, it could be anything like that. 10, I'm thinking, maybe October, and then 5 + 4 is 9. Maybe you were born in 50, but I have no idea. Or maybe it's just important to you and it's someone else's birthday. Maybe it's a pass on loved one's like birthday or an age or something like that. But I was just getting that so specifically, 10:54, and then going down from there, right? So it's like 10:54, 10:53, like literally like a radio station, like we're going down, right? And also I was hearing that you could be making something bigger than it is. Going back to the whole small adjustments, big impact. It doesn't have to be a whole to-do, you know what I mean? Like it's just a little bit. And it makes a really big impact. And then I also heard delicate alchemy, which I thought was really interesting. And they showed me like, I think it's like butterfly pea flower or powder or something like that. I think it is. I forget what it is. But you have to put it in some sort of liquid and like the acid mixed with something else or whatnot. I think you have to put it in like lemonade or like lemon citrus, right? Like the acid then turns the color from like blue to purple. I think that's what it's called. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's what it's called. But that's what I was getting. It's like delicate alchemy. Like it's something that's so gentle. You know what I mean? Like it gently changes from one color to the next. It's something that it's like this next stage of your life is just coming so naturally to you. I have full chills as I'm saying that. It's coming so naturally to you. You don't have to do a whole lot to get to this point. You're already well on your way. This is a rebirth if I've ever seen one, truly. Let's see if I can get anything out of here. Hello. The world in reverse, yes. That tracks because it's like the first breath that we had in reverse too. The world in reverse with strength. Yeah, I really feel like this is in the Hanged Man. Wow, you guys have all major arcana. That's crazy. You guys need to take your time right now where you're at and really just like take the time where you're at to appreciate where you are right now. That's what I'll say. I think it's important that you appreciate where you are, because you will not be here forever. And I think it's something to take note of. More chills all at my back as I'm saying that. The world in reverse, we have strength, we have the hanged man. This to me is like, again, like being appreciative of the pause and the moment that you're in. Because remember, like I said, the future is right now. So this moment that you wanted for so long, this moment that you were like, oh my God, like, I can't wait till I'm there. Like, you're there. You're already there right now. And I think that's worth, you know, taking note of and worth looking at and just appreciating where you are and what's happening. It may feel like from your perspective right now, oh, you know what I'm hearing? Of course, another like riddle type like thing. I'm not where I want to be, but thank God I'm not where I used to be. Ain't that the truth? That's what I feel like right now, is because it's so hard to measure, you know, your success and the way that you've changed and the way that you've evolved if you're always moving your goalpost, if you're always moving the end goal. How can you fully appreciate where you are now if the place that you're comparing it to keeps moving and moving and moving, right? And then you have the fool coming after the hanged man, which is like, yes, exactly. Almost. Not yet, but almost. That's just what I keep feeling. Not yet, but almost. Not yet, but almost. At some point, I think that you guys are going to be on the other side of something really big. This rebirth, this reinvention, right? This reinvention. You guys are going to be on the other side of this reinvention. And I think you guys are going to look back at this moment and be like, damn, I really appreciate, I wish I appreciated this a little bit more. Because life is always changing, and there will always be something else. There will always be something else. But there will not always be this moment. And that's, quite frankly, fucking profound. This moment won't always exist. But will there always be something else? Yes. Will there always be something else to work through? Yes. Will there always be more loss, grief, struggle, frustration? Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. There always will be that, right? There will always be things happening that you will have to work through. There will be things that you have to do a balancing act for, right? There will be these things in your life that you're going to have to think, how am I going to navigate this? But you're at this point where things are changing at such a deep core cellular level for you right now. Like, you really are about to reinvent yourself fully. And it's almost like giving your appreciation and your thanks and your gratitude to this version of you now that got you to this point where you truly stand on the precipice of change. You're standing on the precipice of one of the biggest changes in your entire life. In your whole life, literally. You're about to become a completely new human, a new person, a new individual. Body, mind, spirit, energy, everything. Like, it really feels like this is the death of who you used to be and the birth of who you are becoming right now. It's like, it's coming to me in a sense of like slowing down the birth process and watching you move your way through it, you know, inch by inch by inch. And you're in it, so it feels frustrating and it feels slowed down, and you're like, oh my God, like, what do I do now? And I'm just kind of like sitting in this liminal space, but there's a gift in that liminal space. It gives you this bird's eye view. It gives you this ability to look at things different. It gives you this ability to really like, you're seeing things from a very different and new perspective that you wouldn't have been capable of being a different version of you. Like, it's almost like the way that you've been crafted, the way this alchemy has unfolded for you, these small little things over time. Like, it's almost like you didn't seek out these things and seek out this change, like, specifically, you know, like, you weren't like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do da-da-da every day until it stops becoming a problem, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of the changes that you made were things that you just kind of evolved naturally through, you know, like you removed things that weren't working for you. And for some of them people, for some of them literally family members, some of them people that you thought were, you know, friends that were like family or whatever. And I feel like that's what this is, you know, like you didn't realize you were doing it at the time, but it's like now you have that bird's eye view so you can look back. And now it's like you're looking back being like, wow, that's so crazy. Like I didn't even seek out to do those things, but I did them anyway. I still managed to do it. Like it's something that I wanted, but it's not something I set out to do. And you're like, damn, I achieved that. That's crazy. Like I really did build this life that I've always wanted, with the people in it that I've always wanted, the things that I've wanted, the feelings, the emotions, the vibes that I wanted. Like I've built this brick by brick without meaning to. You wanted it, but I don't think that you set out to do it consciously. Does that make sense? And also with this family card, the way that I'm seeing this is almost like, you know, this, it's almost like spirit, or maybe even like a passed on loved one is like creating this space for you. Like creating the space for you to exist here, right? It's almost like they're looking at the sunset, they're creating these like joys for these children. And I feel like this is spirit doing it, or maybe it's even just, like I said, like a passed on loved one creating this for you. I feel like you do have someone on the other side who is, and maybe it's a parent specifically, because, you know, mom and dad here in this card. But I feel like they're helping you create the space for your inner child to live out the life that they've always wanted. That's big. That's crazy. That's what this feels like for me. Spirit or someone on the other side is really holding space for you and creating this kind of like this bubble for you. They're creating this protective space for you to experience joy in the way I think that your inner child might have always wanted, or allowing this younger version of you to really live out their dreams. It's almost like the way it's coming through to me is like, this is what you've always wanted, you know, like, let me help you get there. It's a recognition of some kind. And I think that's also beautiful. The last tarot cards that we had here too were the Hermit and the Eight of Cups. I feel like this is something that you could place into the category of grief, right? It's almost like this bittersweet feeling, or like a nostalgia, like a surreal feeling of like, wow, like I've learned so much, hence the Hermit, right? Or you could have Virgo in your chart too. But this is like, I learned so much. The Hermit is that figure that walks this journey, this really tough journey alone. This very arduous, like difficult, tumultuous type of journey alone. It's a long trek. You learn a lot on the way. You take that knowledge, you transform it into wisdom, okay? So the Hermit here for me is about this lifelong wisdom, that you have really never stopped searching for your star. You've never stopped searching for, you know, that version of you, or that life that you've wanted, you know, to live truly. You've been at it a while. The head down for the Hermit to me is like, it's almost like a respect for the things that you've gone through, for the things that you've experienced, for the things that you've lived through, right? Respect for almost like the divine and the journey that you've been on, and respecting that there is a purpose for these things, right? And then having the Eight of Cups is just kind of like that recognition, the surrender to be like, and I have to leave that part of me behind. I have to leave that part of me behind. And it's not in a sense of leaving it behind unnecessarily. It's like, it's finally time. Like, it's time for your rebirth. There is a little, like I said, a sense of, you know, grief, or like a bittersweet type of vibe to that. And look at the bottom of this deck too. that I made here actually is 0. So you could be seeing 000, like multiple zeros a lot as an angel number, but it also says limitless. It's written in pen, a little hard to see, but it says limitless. And you have the Fool here that was in reverse, right? The possibilities are limitless. You are completely, I have full body chills again, completely and entirely a new human being, and your rebirth is right around the corner. So enjoy the time that you have now. Enjoy the place that you're at and the version of you right now. It's like enjoy the last moments of this. Enjoy the last moments that you get to spend with this version of you, because you will never be this version of you again. So thank you guys so much for being here. If you resonated, of course, you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends. I love y'all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hearing this message and spending this time with me. And I'll see you soon. Bye.